everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that I now have a Discord, and a link can be found below in the description for anybody who wants to join. And now, on to the video, where I may or may not lose my mind at ChatGPT. In today's video, I am doing something a little different. Instead of doing a rant or a scripted video, I will be ad-libbing this, and the point of this video is to ask ChatGPT questions and see how accurate it is. And even at the bottom it says ChatGPT may produce inaccurate information about people, places, or facts. And we are going to see how accurate this is. So I've prepared a list of people that I would like to ask the chatbot about. So let's get right into it. So first up, let's ask the bot about Queen Victoria. So give me a detailed biography on Queen Victoria, her marriage, and her children. So this is the report that the bot has given me. So let's see how accurate it is. So Queen Victoria, born Alexandrina Victoria, that is correct. Victoria was not Queen Victoria's first name, it was actually Alexandrina. Was born on May 24th, 1819 in Kensington Palace, that is correct. She became the Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland on June 20th, 1837 until January 22nd, 1901, that is also correct. Her era, known as the Victorian era, was one of the longest in British history. When it comes to the details of her marriage, it is correct. The Albert and Victoria did get married on February 10th, 1840 at the Chapel Royal in St. James's Palace. That is correct. Now the part where it says that their marriage was arranged, I'm not quite sure how accurate that would be, because while their meeting was arranged, Victoria did have other suitors, and she asked Albert to marry her. So I'm not quite sure about this one. This one seems like it's talking more about Vicky and her husband Fredrick, Vicky being Victoria's daughter, so this one I'm not sure of. ChatGPT also says Victoria and Albert had a strong and harmonious marriage. Albert played an influential role in her life and reign, particularly in matters of politics, culture, and public affairs. He took an active interest in various areas, including education, technology, and social welfare. Together they formed a united front and became symbols of morality and family values. So again, that is true. Albert was, for lack of better wording, somewhat of an activist in his time. He was against slavery. He was very interested in the evolving technology of the time, and he even created an exhibition showcasing all the various technological developments of the time. So yes, ChatGPT did get that right. ChatGPT continues by then listing all of Queen Victoria's children. Victoria, Princess Royal, 1840 to 1901. Full name Victoria Adelaide Marie Louise, known as Vicky, was the eldest daughter. She married Fredrick III, the German emperor, and had 8 children, including Kaiser Wilhelm. Albert Edward, Prince of Wales, 1841 to 1910, also known as Bertie, became King Edward VII of the United Kingdom. After Victoria's death, he married Alexandra of Denmark and had 3 sons, including King George V. Alice, Grand Duchess of Hesse and by Rhine, 1843 to 1878. Alice married Louis IV, Grand Duke of Hesse, and had 7 children, including Empress Alexandra Fyodorovna of Russia. Alfred, Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, 1844 to 1900. Alfred married Grand Duchess Maria Alexandrovna of Russia and had 5 children. He served as Duke of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha and was active in the British Navy. Helena, Princess Christian of Schleswig-Holstein, 1846 to 1923. Helena married Prince Christian of Schleswig-Holstein and had 5 children, known for her charitable work and dedication to nursing. Louise, Duchess of Argyll, 1848 to 1939. Louise married John Campbell, Duke of Argyll, an accomplished artist and supporter of women's rights. Then we have the next son, Arthur, 1850 to 1942. Arthur married Princess Louise Margaret of Prussia and had 3 children. He served as the Governor General of Canada. Leopold, Duke of Albany, 1853 to 1884, suffered from hemophilia, and despite his health challenges, he pursued a career in the military and married Princess Helena of Weldick and Piermont, had 2 children. Beatrice, Princess Henry of Battenberg, 1857 to 1944. Beatrice married Prince Henry of Battenberg and had 4 children. She served as Victoria's companion and secretary after Albert's death. So, ChatGPT did give accurate mini biographies on Queen Victoria's 9 children. And honestly, I'm not really surprised because ChatGPT is kind of a glorified search engine, so no surprise there. In total, I give this a 7 out of 10. The information was simple to follow. It was accurate, although I feel like it didn't really dive into Victoria's relationship with Albert or her children. And I asked it to give me a detailed biography, so maybe I'll try again in a video all on its own rather than part of a section. So overall, 7 out of 10. Solid, not amazing. Probably not much better than Wikipedia. The next person that I asked ChatGPT about was Fredrick the Great of Prussia, and I asked it 2 questions. One was, give me a biography on the personal life of Fredrick the Great, which I will read now. Fredrick the Great, also known as Fredrick II, was born on January 24th, 1712 in Berlin, Prussia. He was the eldest son of Friedrich William I, the King of Prussia, and his wife, Sophia Dorothea of Hanover. From an early age, Friedrich showed a strong interest in the arts, literature, and philosophy, which set him apart from his father, who favored military discipline. Growing up, Friedrich had a strained relationship with his authoritarian father. His father disapproved of Friedrich's intellectual pursuits and tried to mold him into a military leader. Friedrich resented this and clashed with his father's expectations throughout his youth. Nevertheless, he received a rigorous military education and showed exceptional skills as a tactician and strategist. In 1730, Friedrich attempted to flee from his father's rule, but his plan was discovered and he was arrested and forced to witness the execution of his close friend and accomplice, Lieutenant Hans Hermann von Kite. This traumatic experience deeply affected Friedrich and strained his relationship with his father even further. Upon ascending to the throne in 1740, Friedrich became King Frederick II of Prussia. He immediately embarked on a series of reforms to modernize and strengthen Prussia, both military and economically. Under his leadership, Prussia became a major European power and engaged in several military conflicts. Despite his military successes and reputation as a formidable ruler, Friedrich had a complex personal life. He never married and had no legitimate heirs. Now this is actually not true. This ChatGPT actually got wrong, and I told it that. Friedrich was married and his wife was named Elizabeth Christine of Brunswick-Bavarian, and the corrected version that ChatGPT gave me was Fredrick's marriage to Elizabeth Christine was primarily a political alliance arranged by his father. They were married on June 12, 1733, but their marriage was not a happy one and they had a distant and estranged relationship. Elizabeth Christine was known for her religious devotion and led a quiet life away from the court. She had limited influence on Fredrick's rule and was not involved in politics or affairs of state. They had no children, and Fredrick did not have any legitimate heirs. Despite their lack of a close relationship, Elizabeth Christine remained loyal to Fredrick throughout their marriage. She mourned his death deeply and spent the rest of her life in seclusion, often wearing mourning outfits. And then ChatGPT responds at the bottom, I apologize for the oversight in my previous response and I appreciate your correction. The bot didn't really elaborate on Elizabeth Christine. For example, she had a very public role in Prussia, usual of queen consorts, and she was also the one who introduced successfully silk cultivation in Prussia, so I'm kind of surprised that the bot didn't mention any of that or how she was as queen consort. But then again, it neglected her the first time and said that Fredrick wasn't even married, so I don't think the bot likes Fredrick's wife. Overall, I give the Fredrick the Great section a 6 out of 10. While the information was simple and easy to follow, it omitted his marriage to his wife, which is a fact that can be easily Googled. And I feel like a chatbot, which is constantly evolving, so to speak, should know a basic fact about one of the most famous men in history. Next up on the list of asking ChatGPT questions is another great, Rameses II of Egypt. Now, for those who don't know or haven't seen my Cleopatra video from about 2 months ago now, ancient Egypt was the subject that got me into history on the first place, and my dad, when I was 10, gave me a book I have dubbed the Egypt Bible because it went into great detail about every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. So I'm excited to see what ChatGPT says about Rameses, one of the greatest kings Egypt ever saw. According to ChatGPT, Rameses II, also known as Rameses the Great, was one of Egypt's most celebrated pharaohs. He ruled for an unprecedented 66 years during the 19th dynasty of the New Kingdom period. Born around 1303 BC, he ascended the throne at a young age, and his reign had a profound effect on Egypt's history and cultural legacy. Here is a detailed biography of Rameses II. Rameses II was born to Pharaoh Seti I and Queen Tuya, likely in Thebes, which is in modern-day Luxor. His given name was Usur Mater Sete Pener, and he later took the throne name Rameses II. As the firstborn son of Seti I, Rameses II was designated as the crown prince, preparing him for eventual rulership. As a prince, he received a comprehensive education, including military training, politics, and religious studies, preparing him for the responsibilities of kingship. Rameses II became pharaoh around the age of 25 upon the death of his father Seti I in approximately 1279 BC. Before his father's death, Rameses II had served as co-regent for several years, which allowed him to gain valuable experience in governing and leading the Egyptian army. Rameses II's reign lasted until his death in 1213 BC, making it one of the longest in ancient Egyptian history. He was a prolific builder, commissioning numerous grand construction projects throughout Egypt. The most famous of these temples include Abu Simbel, the Ramesseum in Thebes, and the Hypostyle Hall at Karnak. Rameses II was a skilled military strategist and led numerous successful military campaigns, expanding Egypt's territories and securing its borders. He engaged in military conflicts with neighboring civilizations, such as the Hittites, the Libyans, and the Nubians. Some of his most famous military campaigns include the Kadesh campaign at the Battle of Kadesh. One of the most significant military campaigns during Rameses II's reign was the Battle of Kadesh, fought against the Hittite Empire in modern-day Syria. The battle is well documented in inscriptions on temple walls, but its actual outcome is a subject of debate among historians. Following the Battle of Kadesh, Rameses II negotiated a peace treaty with the Hittite king, which is considered one of the earliest recorded treaties in history. Rameses II had numerous wives, but his principal queen was Nefertari. He fathered many children, including more than 100 sons and daughters. His children held important positions in the Egyptian government and the priesthood. Rameses II died at the age of about 90 years old and buried in the Valley of the Kings, but his mummy was later relocated and now rests in the Cairo Museum. His successor was his 13th son. Cultural impact. Rameses II's legacy extended far beyond his lifetime. He was revered as a great pharaoh and a military hero, and his accomplishments were celebrated in numerous inscriptions, statues, and monuments. Ramesside period. The period of Egyptian history during and after Ramesses' reign is known as the Ramesside period, marked by a decline in Egypt's prosperity and influence. In modern times, Rameses II's monuments and statues have been rediscovered and preserved by archaeologists. How did I say that? In modern times, Rameses II's monuments and statues have been rediscovered and preserved by archaeologists and historians, providing valuable insight into ancient Egyptian culture and history. Rameses II's impressive reign and accomplishments continue to captivate the world, leaving an enduring mark on the channels of ancient Egypt's history. Honestly, I am amazed at how much the bot actually covered of Ramesses' life, such as the Battle of Kadesh, the peace treaties, his military campaigns into Nubia, him being this giant architect of all these temples, all his children and his wives. And yes, he did in fact have 100 children. That is a fact. It also got the part about him being part of the 19th dynasty and part of the New Kingdom. That was also accurate. And it also got the part right about how Ramesses had a name before he became pharaoh. And I'm just honestly blown away given the fact that before in the Fredrick the Great section, it completely forgot the fact that he had a wife to begin with. So I am impressed by this level of accuracy in ChatGPT. As a Egypt nerd and as a history nerd, more so an Egypt nerd, I'm impressed. Kudos to ChatGPT getting an applause from me. I give this an 8 out of 10. Again, it's not perfect. Some information is missing, such as the seed festivals and his death and burial, but I'm impressed with the information that it gave me already. So like I said, I'll give credit where credit is due, and I give this ChatGPT essay an 8 out of 10. Honestly, I did not know what to expect from ChatGPT. I don't really use it. Would I use it again to ask it questions about historical figures? No. There's plenty of credible websites out there on many different historical figures that are accurate and don't omit information like ChatGPT did. And honestly, ChatGPT and the AI art, to me, it just seems like glorified search engines because it just picks apart different resources across the internet and smashes it together for the user. I am, however, thinking of doing a part 2 with Cleopatra and Maria Theresa, and if there's any more historical figures you would like to see in the second video, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to Sweet Histortea, a channel full of random facts and lots of sparkles. If you would like to support my channel, please consider becoming a patron or joining my channel membership program. If you would like to leave a one-time donation, please consider sending me a super thanks. If you would like to see more of my personal life, please follow me on Instagram. Thank you again for watching. Until next time.
There's a part of myself I'm missing. Now I got a lot to